cake. No, I didn't come to play. They were hating on me then. Now I put it in their face. I was trapping out the band. I was really pumping bass.
Hey, we back, man. You already know, man. Snkr Immrtls. And this is the Snkr review. And I'm checking in. It's your man Boogie, man. The real sneaker king, sneaker gods, sneaker immortal. And the reason I say sneaker immortals, man, because it's a lot of sneaker guys out there I really respect, and I respect them as sneaker gods as well. So, immortals, if you know what the actual definition of the words is, we all together on how we really, get our thought process on what we feel is hot and what's not. And I ain't gonna say it ain't too much. That ain't, because when you really like that, like my man S always tell me, it ain't on you, it's in you. And like I said, hashtag I do sneakers all type. And that's sneakers, Snkr. Yes, don't forget that. In the hashtag. So when you hashtag or you leave a comment under this sneaker review right here, hey, holla at us, man. Let us know what you think. Shoot your opinion on what you feel. But today we're gonna be reviewing one old school. Man, I'm sorry, two old schools, but in a new form. You know, and like I said, because I do sneakers all type. I'm a caliber of person who could do something in any type of way, any type of weather, and just give it up because I really do sneakers. I'm shouting out that. And be on the lookout for when we do one of these next segments. I got up with my man Jay. Shout out to you, Jay, if you see this, man. Diary of a Sneakerhead. We hope to have you up here so we can discuss the review on the next one. All right. So let's jump right into it, man. My first sneaker was the official classic. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to pull that joint out. But maybe you ain't old enough to remember when Champion first came out. So, Champion is a staple of the clothing industry. Real street dudes wear Champion all the time, man. You got your real hoodie wearers, sweatsuits. So when Champion had first came out, it was just the hoodie and the sneaker. But you got to be a real sneaker enthusiast to know this. You know what I mean? So that brings us to our first cop and drop. You already know the Champion track sneaker. Woo! Let's get into it, man. Let's get right on into it. Check the exclusive, check the colorway, or exclusive colorway, by the way. Because how many times do you get cream and the real beige sneakers? Let's talk about it, man. This right here on the Richter scale for me is an 8. I gotta give it up. See, because I'd really be busting it up when they come with a crazy colorway on an old school, but in a new formula. Alright? So let's talk about it. Like my man Jock say, I hope you see this, bro. You always told me, let's get into the specs. This joint 10 on comfort. Gotta admit it. You know what I mean? Especially in my older age, I'm about comfort on kicks now. So when I see an old school and they bring it back and it's comfortable, that's something. Now, 10 on colorway. Because you don't really get to get something that fill that void in your wardrobe if this the colorway you looking for. And I just do sneakers all tight, so the colorway be crazy anyway. They could have had red, white, and blue, and I probably would have got it. But let's get into it. Beige with cream. Got the cream mesh, cream leather with the beige leather. With the mean new bottom. I get that. Like I said, colorway 10. Comfort 10. Construction. We're going to go about an 8.5. Because, like I said, it's kind of designer as well as track. I like the mixture. So, that's one of the things. The cream string set it off for me. You know what I mean? Could have probably found some beige joints. Could have did something crazy. But, I like how they kept it real clean and classy. So, that's going to bring me to how I feel where I'm at with this. See, I got clothes in the wardrobe that go with this. Everybody don't really do this type of colorway. So this might not be your preference. Man, leave the comments down bottom whenever you see this, though. And you let us know what you think. But if you really was around when sneakers was really popping and everybody was doing all types, back when Champion first came, man, you had the joints with the big C. Don't play if you was a real sneakerhead. You can't even pump fake and say you didn't. Because if you was really outside, this was the staple of outside. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just kick it back to then. That's about 88, 89 when champion sneakers had dropped. Some of y'all weren't even in existence then, so we just going to spill to the ones who know. This joint was a must-have then. Like how it was for me now when I seen it. It's a must-have now. I'm just saying for me personally, not for you. All right? But let's get into that. So, like I said, this joint, 10 on comfort, 10 on colorway, 8 on construction, shoestrings, leather, and all that. Feel me? Let's be clear. This is what I call a certified cop. You already know, man. Let me hold up the pair so it can look like it's supposed to do. See, this joint here was crazy. You know how I see them boys come through and they in the lead, they walking with the sneakers in their hand? Yeah, man, y'all check for me. But don't forget, if you're really a real sneakerhead, man, you let us know what you think. You know what I mean? Like I said, I gave you my review. This is 8.5 on the Richter scale, and I definitely had to have it, man. You already know. Shout out to Champion for that drop. Now, you already know what we're doing. You know I got to pull off what I actually came in the door with. That's just how I give it up. You know what I'm saying? You already know. Now we're going to get into it for the second part of this delivery. Yeah. Come on. Let me put that by the emblem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's that Reebok. Yeah. Yeah. Black with the bronze. New black top effect. You heard? Okay, but you had to be from back then when we was really doing sneakers and Reeboks had just dropped and hit you with that black top. All my real Reebok heads know, man. Don't forget, Reebok spent a lot of money in the hood. They put on a lot of athletes, man. And did a lot. Ooh, they did a lot of work. Let's be clear on that. They did a lot of work. Jay-Z, 50, you know. We got to talk about it, you know. We had a lot of joints. The black top was one of the most prolific Reeboks out of there. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget the pumps. But let's talk about this one right now. Let's talk about the 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 specs. The all black with the bronze with the gray leather tongue. With the mesh. With the foam toe. Yes, sir. Real basketball, real athletic. Like, I gotta admit it. You know, the texture, the durability, how strong this shoe is. I give it an 8.5 on construction. Comfort, I give it an 8. Cause it's really for balling. This ain't really the walk around shoe. So I say if you a real baller and this your joint and you like to go to the black top cause we got this and you like to drag that toe when you go into the rack, yeah, this probably one of them ones. So like I said, the mesh, the high durability, if you balling, this probably a 9 for the baller. You just outside walking and doing your thing for looks like me? Ooh, this is a 10 because you know why? It's an exclusive. Because those who know. How the hashtag go? IYKY. Am I getting it right? Tell me, Tech, man. If you know, you know. Okay, yeah. You already know, man. So stay tuned. You already know. Now, let me get one more spiel about this right here. See? Because Reebok, I like how they did that. They just putting the emblem up there now, no word. Let you figure that out. See, because some of y'all ain't real sneakerheads. Y'all, like I said, shout out to all the real Jordan wearers. Because, all y'all really do is Jordan. So some of y'all who just wear the classics that's really owned by Nike, and then it's the ones that's owned by Mike, Jordan brand. And I ain't mad if you're a Jordan head. But if you're a real sneaker head, you wear sneakers all brands, all types, man. Think different about it when you do it, man. Don't never forget, man. This is why this is sitting beside this logo right here. See that there? Because I think different on how I pick my kicks. I don't know about y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, let's bring it back around. We had the official champion old school cops. We got the Reebok new black top cop. You already know how I'm giving it up when I do it, man. You know, and got something in the wardrobe, a little penny color, so you got to keep it. You got to know how to do your copper with the black, man. You already know. So I'm gonna wind this down. Think different is the mindset, man. Think different is the actual motivation. Sneaker Immrtls approves. That's the hashtag. Y'all be on the lookout for it, man. And don't forget, man, leave your comments down bottom. Follow us, click that like, share, and all that. And don't forget, check for the tech, man. Unusual Productions for all your streaming and all your tech needs. If you need anything from us, just shout us out in the comments, man. And be on the lookout, man. Next sneaker review coming next week, man. And be on the lookout for my man Jay, Diary of the Sneakerhead, when we bust it up on the next sneaker review, man. It's your boy Boogie, and I'm out. Hey, hold up. Don't forget, never follow the norm, man. Always think different.